in order not to waste much time or waste more time, we'll have to jump into the business for today. So welcoming everyone to this week's All Hands, and this week happens to be retrospective. So everyone comes here. If you don't know, for context, everyone comes in here to every second. How do I put it? But we interchange it. So the first by Wednesday of the month is more like a open all hands, while the last by Wednesday of that month is going to be retrospective. So everyone comes in here to give a breakdown of what they have achieved for the past month and maybe a breakdown of what they plan to achieve during the next month. So that's like the context of this meeting. So everyone is welcoming again. So I will be sharing my screen so that we will start. Oh, wow. I think my screen is so that we'll start presenting. And the first circle on my list here is the marketing circle. So do we have anyone? Oh yeah, Abdul Rahman is from marketing. So marketing circle, please get ready. You'll be going first. After the marketing circle comes operation circle, which is myself or Ayo, and I guess Ayo will be doing that for us. So Ayo, you get ready immediately after the marketing circle. Abdul, do you want me to share your screen? To share my screen, or would you want to share yours?
Yeah, please share your screen. I can wait for you there.
All right.
Yeah.
We are 35 on this call. It would be great if everyone can say "I" in the chat box. Hello, everyone. New faces joined, or new people joined. So I'll be expecting everyone's "I" in the chat box, please. So I'll be sharing my screen now. So yeah, Abdul Rahman, please can you see my screen? Confirm if you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry. Thank you. So let me know when I should scroll and when I should stop scrolling.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you very much, everyone. I'll be presenting from the marketing circle, and the first point of presentation is voiceover selection for our video productions and other, let me say, video production for brand consistency. And we started the process by gathering a lot of voiceover across selected countries as suggested by Yan in one of our all hands. And we have made decision to finalize on 3 selections, which include one from America, one from Africa, and a Mexican voiceover. So that would be considered to be our primary voiceover for whatever thing that we're producing as far as educational video or whatever video that we're creating is concerned that might require voiceover. And also, we achieve this progress as a new initiative created by the marketing circle, or let me say formed from the marketing circle, and which happens to be the internal communication work group. So they're primarily meant for producing information that really involve the internal circles, more like cross circles communications and all. So that is exactly what we the work group focus on. And then there is this suggestion by Yan one time like that about video creations and education campaign. And a lot of circle were supposed to be part of this. Rafael is a very strong participant in this, and we have discussion around this. And our 3 circle meetings. A lot of this content have been made, and we have a dedicated channel for this. So we'll be creating a lot of videos as far as respective topics that have been suggested by Yan is concerned. And of course, it will be required if we have other topics from community members as well. Yeah, that's true. The last but not the least is the new insights that we had from the portal, from the official portal. I think I updated this. Probably I couldn't help us to update the numbers. But then, if you are aware of this on our official website, there is a new feature called Explore. And this Explore is where we seem to be a kind of a centralized hub for all information that is happening in Deepfunding. And a lot of information around RFP, milestone completions, and they were automated to be posted on the feed. And there is an option for us as individual, part of the Deepfunding, to create our own profile, to bring a lot of topics around beneficial AI or whatever things topic that are really in line with our objective and values. And that's, we from the marketing sector, we made it a specific targeted campaign that happens to be email, and we reached about 300 contacts. And as at last time that I asked for developers, and Oscar was supposed to provide us with a actual number of people that have completed their profile, but due to personal stuff, he wasn't able to do so. But when I requested from Aslan, he provided a kind of another numbers that during the campaign, let me say, since the launch of the Explore, we have a new about 120 20 new users that have registered. So that is what we are presenting as our reports for this month from the marketing sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abdul. That's 4 points, right? Do anyone have any question regarding each of these points presented by the marketing circle before the operation circle comes in? And after the operation circle, we have the IT circle. So please, if the IT circle can get ready, I don't know who will be representing the IT circle, but I hope someone is here. Any questions for the marketing circle, please? So point number 1, voiceover selection, internal communication work group created, video creation, and then new feature explore campaign. In the absence of no question, we'll be jumping straight to the operation circle. Ayo, are you here? Hello, Ayo.
Yes, I am. Am I audible?
Yeah. Although your voice sounds somehow, but yeah, you're clear.
Okay. Yeah, just before I start operations, please, I want to mention that this analytics they want to present a bit into the call. So please, if you could consider that.
Sorry, you're not very clear. Are you using a AirPod or something? Maybe you should remove that.
Oh,
Your father hear this. Your life.
is it better now?
Yeah, please speak again. Is that your yeah? Is Ayo still yes? Can someone confirm if Ayo is still on this call? Okay. Since Ayo is not here, I will go for the operation
Yes, dropped
circle.
off the call. Yes.
All right. So I'll be doing that for the operation circle. So yeah, different people responsible for.
I think sorry for interruption. I think he requested that the analytics circles to go first. I don't know. Probably he's fixing something.
I did
Yeah,
not.
I can go if necessary,
Okay.
representing the
Gustavo,
analytics.
what
Yep.
what sector are you representing, please?
Analytics.
All right. Let me switch straight to analytics. All right. Yeah, you can go.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so a lot of work this past month in the analytics circle. I'm going to start with the social media performance review, which was basically reporting the previous month insights and data. This is basically only reporting, so descriptive statistics. We already had the reports ready, so we were just doing ingestion with the new data and doing hypercare with the reports. The next steps would be to build the pipeline so that we focus less on the infrastructure and more on the insights, on reporting the KPIs. The stakeholder for this first point here is the marketing circle. Next, following, we did that open project survey, which was comparing two different waves. The first survey was done in May, I think. It was that bot in Mattermost that was annoying everyone. And the second survey was done in September, and the analysis was done this month. And this was comparing, and this was done to assess the implementation of the tool, of the project management tool. Stakeholder was operation circle. A priori, this was like a one-time thing. We had an overall satisfaction, more members using the tool. The training was also successful. And yeah, next steps for this one would be to align maybe with Operation Circle. What is the goal? What's the target goal for next year, for the next wave? What are we trying to identify? We already have the survey data, but what are we trying to measure for the upcoming quarter? And then we have the third point here, which is the feedback systems. This is kind of the same process as the survey point. We're trying to get feedback from the members' experience. So trying to get um, a guide. We already have this guide on how to assess the members' experience in respect to each tool, like collecting the user experience, collecting engagement, collecting the satisfaction. And this is systematic, and this is done through a systematic approach with short surveys, with open text questions. Yeah, and next steps would be to consolidate everything and communicate the results gathered through this feedback system guide that the circle built. Next one is the fourth point here is the voting simulation, which I think it was already communicated in the previous retrospective all hands, but right now we want to compare the members, so the actual people's evaluation with a simulation done with a LLM. So we will be first assessing the pairwise done with an LLM. Ultimately, we want to get a method to filter and sort out the proposals sent to Deepfunding. We have some prior steps to actually using the LLM, because we have to anonymize the data. We have to scrape the data out of the platform. We have sensitive data, so it's really important that we don't train the LLM with the sensitive data, or maybe we have to get a local LLM model from Hugging Face, for example, and then we do everything locally so as to have more privacy involved. So we have those prior steps before actually doing the simulation. We're working on it right now. And the last point here is the documentation and standardization. Like I said, for the first point, we really want to solidify the infrastructure, the data engineering infrastructure, start using BigQuery, standardize our code using Git, and we want to focus less on infrastructure and more on the insights, more on actually building a single source of truth for the entire Deepfunding community. So this part is really important. This speaks more to the metadata of our circle. So yeah, this would be the documentation and standardization that includes documenting everything, collaborating internally by versioning our scripts, our code, building DevOps pipelines so that we don't have to worry about the batch ingestions in our reports. And yeah, ultimately just building credibility with all the circles. Yeah, that's everything. If anyone has any questions.
Thank you very much, Gustavo. Vani, you have your hands up.
Yeah, where can we see the social media performance review? Or can we? It'd just be quite interesting to see what is doing well and what isn't.
You mean the first point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have let me share. This month we're building a spreadsheet with all of our maintained objects like reports, documents. I'll share that on the All Circles channels, and that spreadsheet also includes the social media reports. And I think they are all public. I think they're all public links. I'll check that and I'll send the spreadsheet in the All Circles channel.
Brilliant, thanks. I mean, if they are public, it'd probably be cool to include them in the report, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, I'll be sharing that spreadsheet, which includes all of our social media reports, Telegram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and yeah, I think that's it.
I think you missed YouTube. YouTube will be amongst that, right?
Oh yeah, and YouTube, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gustavo.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Gustavo? Is Ayo back in this call?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, don't leave again, please.
Okay.
We should jump back to you, right? Because you were saying something about data analytics presenting before you.
Please help present so I can just run through it. We have it's a 6 point presentation, but I think we can keep it within 3 minutes. The first point here is the process and system feedback, something that we like to do in Operation Circle to run assessment on the processes and see how to make constant and consistent improvements. So this was presented already, so no need to say much about it. And the links are there, so if anybody wants to read, I think it's also open for comment as well. So please feel free to dive in. Into the communications is the second point, which is one of the efforts that we've been trying to execute in terms of the community, in terms of the culture, and most especially in terms of people knowing exactly where to do what and how. right? We figure out that half of the problem is people not knowing what to do, and then maybe the other half is teaching them how to use, certain tools. So Anisha and Nora, they've been working pretty hard behind the curtains on that. So we can all expect more, to come to the front in the coming month. But we've started, and we hope that it just gets better. The operations cycle is also in charge of making sure that the DF manual is updated, and we were able to impute the RFP documentation, which was quite some work, considering how RFPs can be, and then and it's also good because the way we are going in the circles community, it's important that everybody have an understanding of how to make this right. So yeah, and for the coordinators are usually they're already aware because they are the ones who have been faced with the troubles in the previous protocol to asking for bonuses for their circle members, finding the form, calculating, putting in the logic or the reasoning and things like that. And then we finally, in the British circle, made it better. And we are very, very much happy to announce that now coordinators can make requests using the bonus tool anytime they need to make bonus requests for their circle members. And the beautiful thing about it is that it helps you to document the date, so you don't have to worry about what date was it that you collected last, because we've had issues regarding that. I remember that Market Circle could not get their bonus on time because we had some back and forth trying to clarify the date, and then Wednesday just disappeared, and it was Thursday, and then we had to wait for the next week. So so those kind of things will not happen again. So big thanks to Operation Circle, and most especially Gifrim, Royo, and Mayo. Yeah. And to all of us too. All right, and for the fifth one is we have our basic support processes and tasks, and then we have open support calls continuing. We updated channels. We even helped to also update the anonymous channel. Hopefully, we're also able to check other channels and see if there are other channels needing update, and then we can help in that regard. And then coordinators now have access to the operations platform, right? And in the coming months, we'll start to onboard every individual circle member, and then we can now have discussions regarding the dashboard. But the idea is that you can see a lot of things on your dashboard. Some of the things that you need us for, you may not be needing us for them again, certain information, and things like that. But yeah, we've been able to onboard the coordinators. And so I don't want to speak so much about that because we are still going to have to do more when everybody else is on the board. So yeah, no issues. And then we also continued the contract signing for our other teams. We are about 9% done. And then for the KYC, we have 80% done in that. So special thanks to Mayor. Special recognition to Mayor. All right, and then finally, product management. This was quite some headache, and I'm sure that Gucci had to use a lot of what's it called, Panadol or paracetamol with kind of headache that comes with having to sort different third parties, authorization issues and things like that. But drum roll, we've been able to link Discord to our social share feature. And we are very happy that we are making progress in that. And one of the other things that we're doing is that now we're about 110 community members. Imagine updating that number on the community website. Yeah. So in this place, special thanks to Ugochi for the community website product manager. Yeah, but basically that's it from Operation Circle. Thank you.
You should clap, please. we need hands. That's a lot of work done from the operation circle. I'm hyping up my circle. Please, when it's your turn, you hype up yours. We'll be moving over to the IT circle. Do we have anybody here from the IT circle?
Yeah, Mayor, let me do the honors.
All right.
Hello, everyone.
Edwin.
Scroll to my side.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so over the month of October, we've done several things, and most of the things are still in progress. Now, first off, as we said in our last month, we were looking at different marketing bots. I think you'll be able to deploy one as it stands. We are looking to see how it will be used and if improvement needs to be added, but there are more to be deployed, and there are still some in the pipeline. As usual, we have our normal DevOps and support maintenance. That's the different tools and the different systems that we maintain. We need to pack them up and protect them security-wise. Then this, what do you call a month, we actually had a lot of bug fixes. I mean, it was more geared towards Mattermost Open Project integration. There were some different challenges people were facing, and they brought it to our attention, so we had to look at it. So this month we did a lot of bug fixing. And yeah, I think analytics will really spill the beans on this. We are looking to create different pipelines to ingest different data on BigQuery, and we are looking to build that platform and all those pipelines involved. So this is a new initiative, and work is in progress. Yeah, that's what we've been up to this month.
Yeah, that was quick, Edwin. Very quick.
Yeah.
Do anyone have any question for Edwin? Anyone at all? I hope your open project is working pretty much very well. If you have any question regarding your open project or any of the tools that you have been using, I think now is the right time to ask questions. All right, we'll be moving straight to the onboarding circle in the absence of no question for Edwin. Thank you very much, Edwin.
All right, thank you.
Is there anyone here represented for the onboarding circle?
Yep, I can do that.
All right. Before you go on, after the onboarding circle, we have the review circle. So, review circle, please get ready. Yeah, Vani, you can go
All
ahead.
right. Well, yeah, fingers in a lot of pies this month for onboarding, but a lot of things that we have started and we haven't finished. So, yeah, you'll hear probably more definite stuff from us next month. But the first item people might remember is the Feeling It Images About Deepfunding initiative, where we created a little game on Padlet and asked people to create an image that expressed something that they feel about Deepfunding. So the aim was to have a bit of a break from, we're often very verbal in this community, so it felt like it would be good to do something visual for a change, and also to give people another chance to raise problems in, a different way, another kind of pipeline for raising issues. So people might remember that in the All Circles meeting at the beginning of the month on the 8th of October, we had quite a lively and interesting discussion in breakout rooms about the images, maybe with slightly glitchy because not everybody realised that the images were actually about Deepfunding. So they were discussing without realising that. But next time, hopefully people will know how the game works better. So we're planning to do that again on the 5th of November. And then after that, we'll move towards looking more at what issues were raised and how we progress them. But also the whole thing raised the question of, is it easier to discuss in breakout rooms, and how do we make people feel comfortable to contribute? And that's fed into the Mattermost poll that is currently going on. So that was quite nice that it led to that. But yeah, we're not going to flog it to death. We might do another round of image submission next quarter, but we just want to see where we can go from it once we've analysed the images and talked about them. The next thing is the ethics and principles of deep funding. This has been a discussion that we've embarked on in our meetings. Just talking about what the core principles and ethics of deep funding actually are, with a view to being able to explain them to newly onboarded people, because it's often the case that if you come into a new community, understanding what that community's core beliefs are is a real important part of feeling onboarded. So yeah, we've talked about it, we've explored it, and also talked a lot about how we see those principles being enacted in practice. What do we do at a circle level? What do we see other circles doing? What do we do as deep funding overall? And we've also wondered, how fixed are those principles, and what degree of divergence would be okay if you're coming in new? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, do you, as a new person, have to conform to this, or is there a range of views or whatever? Because that can make people feel more confident when they're onboarded newly into a community. So yeah, it's a complex discussion. We haven't got something to share about it yet, and we'll be wanting to hear from other circles about it. So we're planning to bring something to an all circles meeting, or maybe share it as a doc for comments, or we might even think about doing it via Lumio, but this will be next month when we've kind of got something a little bit more firmed up to share. Next thing is entry-level tasks and onboarding new people. Last month, we were working on the recruitment process by looking at the targeted recruitment questions that each circle might want to use on the community website when they're recruiting people. This month, we've been looking at the next stage in all that, which is the entry-level tasks for new circle members that you might use. We've collected input from all the circles about what they think makes a good entry-level task and how they manage them. And we've connected this with the ideas we'd worked on previously about how circles can use either bounty tasks or a trial period in their recruitment as a sort of alternative to interviewing applicants, or you could use it alongside interviewing. And so we'll have some guidance and ideas ready to share with circles in a couple of weeks, using our usual process of drawing input from all the circles, trying to pull it together, looking for the commonalities, and then sharing it back out again so that people can learn from each other. And then the last thing is onboarding flows. We've begun looking at the kind of process or flow of new people coming into deep funding, whether that is coming into this circles community, or whether it's coming in as proposers or voters or whatever. It can be useful to kind of diagram it and kind of look at how people come in and where from and where they go and what their route is. So yeah, we've started drawing this, and a lot of it crosses over with the questions of where the invitation is shared, because you can't come in if you haven't seen the invitation. So that's part of the question, and we're sort of anticipating that we'll be approaching marketing at some point and talking about that. And it also crosses over with data analytics to examine whether people are experiencing a smooth flow or finding blockers. So we're anticipating approaching data analytics soon as well to talk about this. This is all quite new work for us, so we will have more to report on it next month again. But initially, with the help of, we've been talking to Cardoso from the point of view of the events circle and the hubs. So we're looking at community hubs and trying to map out where people come into them from, and then whether they stay in their hub or whether they progress into, being a proposer, a voter, a circle member, and trying to identify any needs for onboarding materials that will help them. That was a little bit longer than I meant it to be, sorry, but that's it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vani. Do anyone have any question for Vani? She made mention of 4 points that they worked on during the last month.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, Samuel, please.
I have a question for Vani. Hey, Vani.
Hiya.
I have a couple of questions. The first one is, I think onboarding people on the new roles is your responsibility as a circle, right?
Onboarding people as new what? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
There are a couple of new roles in the website, right?
Oh, right, yes.
Onboarding them is your responsibility primarily, I guess.
Not entirely, no. I mean, it's going to come from the cluster or circle that is actually overseeing that role. We don't really have any input into it. We're more looking at the process. We certainly wouldn't be like interviewing people or doing anything like that.
Okay. So who exactly can I ask the concerning
Depends
issue?
which role. Which role are you talking about? Because it's going to depend on
Marketing.
who.
Yeah,
Marketing.
marketing,
Right.
yeah.
In that case, yeah, you'd talk to Marketing Circle about the details of it. Yeah.
Okay, what kind of a question can I ask them? My question was, how is the process? I mean, the open roles are still open, and I have submitted my submission because I wanted to join the circle, but I haven't got any answer yet. I mean,
Right.
it's not clear and it's a little
Right.
confusing.
Yeah, that is a pity. I mean, I can see a couple of hands up who probably will give you a better answer than I would. But I will say that the whole kind of recruitment process is in flux at the moment and is being improved. We have recommended that there should be a quite a short time frame between applying and getting some kind of response back, but it's not all up and running yet. But I think Rakosi might actually have a better, clearer answer for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would be happy. Go on.
Well, not much of a clearer answer. I think you answered it well, but would just let Mr. Samuel know that if he was never reached back out to, then it's most likely because he wasn't compatible with what we were looking for. And I would have to admit that we did drop the ball on a few applications in sending them returns on whether their application was successful or not. So do apologize for that. I hope that
So you
answered your
mean,
question.
I think it might be worth saying also that the new process that we've all been working on, it will all be done via the community site. So that would be less likely to happen in future.
so does that mean if in case I haven't been selected, I wouldn't know that I haven't been selected, or am I getting you right?
No, what I'm
That's
trying to say for sure is that if you were selected, you would have known for sure.
okay. I didn't know that's the confusion. I didn't know
Yes,
anything.
yes, we understand. We understand. And like I said, we dropped the ball. There were some applications that we might have missed on our end to reply to let them know, hey, this was not successful. This is not what we're looking for. So we do have certain applications that we haven't gotten the time to reach back out to yet. So your application probably features in one of those applications.
I mean,
Oh,
in the long term, the idea is that you'll create a profile on the community site. If you apply for something and you don't get accepted, you might at some later point update your profile if you gain new skills or if you get more experience or whatever. And then you might, it's kind of like your application is still there and you can update it, and the circle might look at it again when they're next recruiting. That's kind of the intended process, but it's not live yet. So
yeah, that's. I think you can see why how that can be confusing, right? I have no idea I have been selected or not, or I think even the role on the website is still open. Anybody can submit even now. It says it's open, and it was confusing for me. There was no kind of deadline for the open, the time that anybody can submit, or the result of the I mean the process. But it was confusing, but I think it's kind of better now, clearer now. So yeah, thank you.
Abdul, you have your hands up. Would you like to contribute or would you like to say something?
Yeah, I want to say something just to add a little bit more context. Thank you, Rakosi, for that response. I want to, for transparency's sake and a clear process, I want to confirm to Samuel that we are here to onboard any applicants yet from the open role that you're seeing on the website. And of course, we apologize for the fact that we have not taken out the open role, even though we have a lot of submission. We are still looking into all applicants. So the honest truth is that we are yet to accept anyone, and that could have probably been the case why you've never received any feedback yet. So if you have made any decision at all, so you have been able to receive feedback, probably you have been selected or not. So just want to add that for more clarity and for transparency's sake. In the future, I think we have a more better process, and yeah, that's what I want to add to that. Thank you.
No question. I'm sorry. Quick question.
Yeah, move on.
Right. After submission, I get an email that says your submission hasn't been completed because some format is not appropriate. It says something like that. It returns the email immediately after submission. And does that mean I haven't submitted the submission properly, or is it some glitch?
I think not quite a lot of people had a similar experience, and that does not mean that you have not submitted your application. It is well received. So this has been complained a lot of times. I think it's operating cycle that is responsible for this. I don't know, to be specific. A lot of people have complained the same things, and I personally have made that very complaint to, I could not recollect who I did to personally. So your application was well received, and it's more like a bug issue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Samuel. Ayo, you have your hands up.
So as it's possible that there are issues here and there concerning some of our tools and some of our platforms, right? And it's also possible that you may not be complaining to the specific right person. It's a possibility, right? This is not to excuse any of those challenges, right? But the idea would be, Abdul, please, you can always drop that in the operations support channel. And then we will be able to escalate that to appropriate quarters to make sure that it's given attention. And then Samuel, sorry about that. All right.
All right. Can I get the link of channel? What channel are you talking about?
Oh, so I was referring to Abdul for that. And then I was so the apology was for you. The advice was for Abdul.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ayo. You can put your hands down now. Well, yeah, thank you very much, Ayo. We will be having the review circle. That's if we don't have any other questions. Vani presented and there were a lot of questions and Vani ran away. So we have the review circle next. Who will be presenting from the review circle, please? And after the review circle, the event circle should get ready. Priscilla, Raphael. Anyone from the review circle, please?
I'm presenting. Can you hear me?
All right. Welcome in, Kwesi. I hope I'm correct. Yeah,
All right.
you can.
All right. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on wherever you are. So the first item on our agenda on our list is the review circle meeting structuring. So about 2 weeks ago, we brought up this particular topic concerning the review circle meetings and how most of our budgets were going into the meetings. So we decided to come up with a plan to have a discussion. And it's a good thing we even brought it up in last 2 weeks meeting, because we got a lot of really, really great input from each and every one of you. Last week, we had our meeting, and then we discussed it amongst our review circle members. And we had to resort to putting it to a vote as to whether to move our meeting sessions to make our meeting sessions a bi-weekly, on bi-weekly basis, or on monthly basis, or weekly basis. And based on the vote, majority agreed on us moving our review circle meeting sessions to bi-weekly basis. That way, we're able to move most of our funds into creating tangibles for the review circle. The second item on our menu is, the CRISP and pre-CRISP alliance. So we are well aware that there is the CRISP, and then there was also the formation of the pre-CRISP, which involved members, or consisted of members from the review circle. Currently, the pre-CRISP team have already reviewed some ideas, and we are working on some alliance in the review process or alignment in the review process between the pre-CRISP and the CRISP team. But there are also some really, really exciting things that are yet to come out of it, which I won't be sharing now. I believe in the coming weeks, we'll all find out, hopefully in town hall or in our all-hands meeting. And please, can you scroll to the last? That is the last item on our list. Ubio, okay, thank you. The last item on our list is the milestone recovery pact. So some months ago, the review circle created a sheet, and in that sheet contained the list of rounds, that is from round 1 to round 4, all the RFPs that have been funded in those rounds. And it has all the information. It has the information of the proposers of each RFP. So what we did is that we automated that sheet, in a sense that there was a bot that sends out emails to all the proposers of these ideas to inquire. So it sends out the email depending on maybe how many milestones they've completed and how long it's taken for a particular milestone that hasn't been completed to be fully completed. So it sends them an email asking those questions. And we got some responses from some of the proposers. We are still waiting on responses from other proposers. But this particular work that we did was to help us know the projects that have been halted, the projects that are not going to be completed, or the projects that are facing some blockers or challenges. And with that particular information, we're able to collaborate with the operations team and also ROHO to determine the next or the best way to move forward with the projects. So that's it for the review circle.
Thank you very much, Chrissy. I have a question, or more like a suggestion. Do we have actual numbers for projects that said, nah, we can't continue any longer?
Okay, yes, we do. Assad has access to that particular sheet.
All right, Assad, that's late. All right,
Yes.
I'll probably reach out to him for that.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Chrissy. Any other question for Chrissy, please? The absence of none, I think I'll be moving straight to the event circle. After the event circle, we would have the dev outreach circle. So I hope we have a representative from the dev outreach. Event circle, you're up next.
Do you want to do it, Priscilla, or you want me to do it?
Raphael is on holiday, guys.
Not quite. I'm away, but not on holiday, unfortunately. All right. I guess I'll do it as Priscilla is not talking. All right, guys. So yeah, we'll start with the town hall updates. So after a few discussions with marketing, the three circles, and also Jan and Rafael, we are updating a bit our town hall event. You know, we followed your feedback, the community feedback, tried to make it a more fun and engaging event. But the reality is that maybe fun and engaging is not the best for our target audience, which should be experts and junior developers that could come up with proposals. And with that in mind, we are working to make our tunnel a little bit more professional and with topics that attract this new audience. For it to be a place for education. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it and hopefully we can reach our target audience. Then we have open RFPs. This is a request also from the team. We are developing the functionality in the platform of having open RFPs, and we are planning to test it or like launch it with open RFP for community hubs so that people want to create their own community hub can apply it anytime. So that's what we are working on. Of course, being open is different from our previous endeavors, so we will need to change the processes, especially what gives respect to revisions. Also, we'll try to learn from what happened so far and see if we need to change anything in requirements and all of that. So it's going to be a lot of work that we started, but we haven't finished. Please go down, Mayor. Then, alongside this, we have the revision process. Community hubs have been already almost for 6 months, and we are at the stage where we want to review their performance, and we already have a notion of the number of members, of the number of events, and this revision will focus on things like the circle members that have applied from these community hubs, and also the proposals that have arrived from the community hubs. And we just want to create before the revision a full process that will likely leverage more than one circle to do this revision, namely potentially leveraging the review circle, which has been helping us a lot with reviews, and establish the next steps. And that's the second topic, which is very related, is about defining what should be the next steps, what is the framework, what are we going to do for hubs that are doing a good work, and how will we give them the chance to grow even more and start new initiatives, as well as planning for eventual hubs that are not having the results they have laid out and not achieving their goals. What should we do about them, and how can we support them to succeed? Yeah, you can go a little bit more down. Yeah, perfect. Uh, then we have also been working a little bit with metrics. Mayor has been leading that initiative a little bit more. We are going to create a dashboard also for events, and we're going to be showcasing what we are doing with our events, how they are moving, and the results we are having to the whole community. And finally, to keep it simple, we keep delivering all our events. So we have spaces, we have this open all ends and the town hall. It's also up for the discussion in the future if you guys want all these events, if we should change something. But yeah, we are happy to hear from the community at any point and any moment in time. Maybe we are suspicious, but we of course do believe events are important, right? For example, this event is the only place where we all can all come together and discuss and raise problems through the general community. And the town hall has been now a place for connection, but will move into a place for developers. So let's see how that is going to go. As for the spaces, I think we've been having topics that are very interesting, focusing AI and that are reaching a lot of people. All right, guys, so that's it. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, yeah, feel free to drop them either here or in the chat. I think is Vanny. Yeah, go Vanny.
Yeah, I
If
should probably know this, but where can we see the monthly reports that the hubs have been generating? Are they on the community site?
no, the hubs are not yet on the community site. The community site is still being built, so we have Finally, from what I've seen, we have already some pages out and a link, but we don't have the things yet updated. Where you'll be
Okay.
able to see the full reports will be on the portal.
Okay.
So that portal that we're creating with DF Labs, which is also work that's here and in partnership with Data Analytics and Review Circle, that's the portal where the reports will be available for consultation. When
Yeah, thank you very much, Raphael. Does that answer? Yeah, Vani and thumbs up. So anyone have any other question for Raphael or for the event circle in general? In the absence of no question, we're moving straight to the Dev Outreach Circle. Do we have a representative from the Dev Outreach? Ubio, Riyadh, anybody from the Dev Outreach, please? Okay, I think nobody's here from the Dev Outreach Circle. We'll jump straight to the documentation circle, and then we can come back to the Dev Outreach Circle later. Do we have anyone from the documentation circle?
I think it might have to be me again because nobody else can come off mute. Unless Miss Haddy, unless you can.
Love is in this call. Miss Adi is in the call. I think
Oh,
Sufin.
I've just seen in the chat Ubio is trying to talk for Dev Outreach.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't see the chat. Ubio, are you muted?
we seem to be unable to hear you.
He says in the chat he's gonna drop and come back in again. So yeah, we could take documentation first and let him time to do that, I
And
guess.
you'll be doing that, Vani?
I might as well, yeah, just for speed. So yeah, first of all, we've been working hard on the MK Docs automation. We're continuing to refine that kind of process whereby circles will be able to update their own information on MK Docs, which is kind of the successor to DF Book, which people must probably are aware of. And, we're preparing internal testing workflows to make sure that that whole process works smoothly. And there will be a walkthrough guide very soon to help circles understand how it works and how to do it. And, tying in with that, we're going to be looking at kind of updating schedules, like how often should you look at your information as a circle on MK Docs and update it. So that will be worked into the whole process. The next thing is a liaison system implementation. We've been talking to all of the circles to kind of find out about their documentation processes. Each of us has kind of been assigned to a different circle to go and talk to them and, looking at how they're maintaining and updating their information, which will be in the form of a Google Doc, which can then be automatically uploaded to MK Docs. So yeah, these are, well, it's described as structured staging areas for circle knowledge, ensuring readiness for future integration into MK Docs, which is a fancy way of saying that it hopefully will work really smoothly. Yeah, so the early coordination feedback shows improved clarity on document ownership and update responsibilities. And yeah, doc ownership is quite an important element of managing the data that we have and the information that we have. So that's quite important. I think another one which maybe should have been in this little section is not only ownership, but also things like document naming protocols, maybe. And update schedules. Then we've got our third thing, early discussions around ongoing coordination with marketing and events. And obviously we've heard from marketing and events about the proposed educational and informational content series that they're working on, and documentation circle and the proofreading team are on standby to assist with getting that all structured and kind of archiving materials once the initiative matures. And that's about it from us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vani. Do anyone have questions for Vani? Ubio, are you back in the call as well?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, so please hold on. Let me be sure that there are no questions for Vani. But yeah, we can hear you. No questions for Vani, and we'll move straight to Ubio. And I think that's the last circle I have on this document. I think there should be BizDev, but I can't find their report here. I guess they didn't submit a report. But yeah, Ubio, please. Dev
All
out.
right. Could you share? Yup. Okay, so what's going on with the deaf outreach? A lot. I did mention a few here, but so maybe these ones can already be read, and probably we just focus on probably some things that are equally important that might have not been here. So yeah, um, I will start with one that is not here that I think is equally important to mention before reading this, because I feel this is easier for people to catch up. So we had a learning moment recently. I think that's why it's not there. We're still trying to calibrate the whole learning experience of what happened. We were supposed to start the onboarding cohort 2 right last week. We went through a rigorous process, and the idea was we wanted to stick to probably people that have had contact with the deaf outreach circle in one way or the other, especially through the last hackathon. So we wanted to, have that closed ecosystem where resources and people can always keep engaged. So we sent in mails to prior participants that are currently not on borders to see how we can get the technical teams to join and become on borders. Like when we say on borders, from the dev outreach, we mean AI service on borders, right? And so says we filtered down to 10. From 10, we got 5, and we thought that was fine. And then we scheduled an orientation call for last week Saturday, and by the time we showed up, out of the 5 that had actually said they are definitely partaking, only 2 showed up. And it was not just the fact that we had 2; the 2 that actually showed up were so different from what we had in their CV, right? So because there is a basic knowledge you must have of certain technology for you to be a good onboarder. So these people that even showed up, the only 2 that showed up were not they were not serious. They just did not match the profile of whom we were looking for. So we've decided to go through the process all over again, but this time expand to other touch points that we've actually had in the dev outreach circle in the past 6 months. But again, like I said, it's a learning experience for us, and there's a lot for us to actually take out of that, which we are still trying to get. But we've immediately gone back to the drawing table to try to see how we can get the ideal candidates and persons for this particular job. So this is just for us to increase the pool of people that actually do know how to onboard services to the marketplace. Currently, we do have active persons that are doing that, but we need to keep on increasing the pool as the task from the ecosystem keeps increasing. So yeah, so that was a very learning moment for us. Hopefully we will be able to pick up the right lessons and do it better next time. Yeah, but that did not reflect here because that happened extremely very recent and we are still trying to know how to capture that. But it's important we mention that. Okay, yeah, so we talk about the campus store that has started in Nigeria. So we've been able, so the concept around the whole campus store is a fast onboarding realm, right, where we are able to talk about deep funding, get people to quickly on board, do a mini workshop, and then have them in our dashboard or in our database so that we can constantly reach out to them when we have relevant stuff like hackathons, RFPs, rounds, all of that. So we target the computer departments of universities and institutions where programming is being taught or people learn this stuff. So we've started it already in Nigeria. The first outreach we did had about 30 plus persons register from what we have on our database, right? And yeah, hopefully we intend to do this in about 5 more universities at least, and more, right? So if you're in Nigeria, the countries we're targeting is Nigeria, India, Ghana, right? So if you're in any of these countries and you're willing to partner to execute on this, please, you're welcome. We've had good partnerships currently ongoing in Nigeria and Ghana. And so, yeah, but we still open with more persons who want to partner for this, to do this. We are very open. We'll give you the template on how we are doing that and we'll see what we can achieve. The next one is actually the India and Ghana hackathons, right? So we went far in our conversations with MIT. MIT is the biggest university in India. And so, but there was a sudden pause because currently our India, they are currently having what we call Diwali, the biggest celebrations in India. And so this somehow affects academic programming. So most schools are off as people prepare for the Diwali. It's more than a week-long celebration. Yeah, so yeah, and I do know we have some people from India here, so this is us using this as a means to wish them happy Diwali celebrations. But yeah, I think that also impacted us. We had to pause, and we are also exploring other universities as well in India for this particular project. Same with Ghana, but yeah, but I think based on the recent collaboration we had with some members of the event circle and marketing circle, it's likely it's the rate of progress has been much faster than we've recorded in previous months. And finally, physical hackathons in Nigeria, right? So we are trying to use Nigeria as a minuscule template for what we might do in Africa and probably globally, right? So with the concept of having physical hackathons is just a very recent idea. So we don't even know if we are going to be exploring this idea further. But if we are going to, it was expedient that we model the approach that we want to. A lot of learning experiences, I must say. We are working with professors from 6 universities in Nigeria. We've got most of the, we had to get letters from Deepfunding to engage them directly with the vice chancellors and all of that. And so these universities in these 6 different regions are in charge of running or organizing the hackathon, while we in the Deaf Outreach Circle create a playbook that they utilize and or we also utilize. So what is emanating from this experiment is the fact that one, for us to be able to operate with local vendors, we may have to allow them to operate the way they know and the way they think is best fit for them, because one standard does not fit all. while we on ourselves concentrate on what our own standards is. For example, there's currently a media team in most of these universities and regions running the adverts and running the regional media programming, while we obviously through Andre and Beatrice and the marketing outreach circle actually have their own protocol for marketing, totally different from what the guys on the booth are doing. So we don't stop them from doing what they're doing. We allow them to run their own local stuff while we are doing our own protocols and our own standards without necessarily conflicting with what they are doing. These are some of the learnings we're getting there. But yeah, it's evolving. From November, we're going to start having all of the regional, this thing will be in November, and the national hackathon would be December. So yeah, here are the updates from the Dev Outreach Circle.
Thank you very much, Ubio. We have a hand up, Abdul and Alfred, but Abdul should go first. I got his hand first.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mosa, Ubio. Yeah, I just want to ask that at the 6 university, okay, you mentioned if there will be anybody interested in partnering with the outreach in probably onboarding students. So it's open. So does it mean that the partnership should be will be maintained to focus on only the selected 6 universities that you are working with, or there is an extension to other universities? And peradventure, could there be a list of that universities that you already engaged? Probably, if necessary. Yeah, I want to ask that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Abdul. So let's start from the last question. We just signed it was yesterday that Yan sent in the letters to the vice chancellors. Until they sign, we are not putting anything in the public for now. So we are sorry for that, just to get in protocols and follow some due process. But with respect to the campus store, it's open. It's we are open to work with any persons. We are not limited to just and so just to put in context, these are two different initiatives running concurrently. So the campus store does not impose on the hackathon, right? So the campus store can happen in any university in these 3 countries that we've actually identified to start. So yes, currently in these universities, just to give you another context, some of the universities where we are having the campus store are not necessarily the universities where we are actually having the hackathons. So if you do know or you do have the access to get to any university, please reach out to us. Obviously you are in the circle, so you understand what the marketing of this would be like and whom we are targeting. So we will give you a template and you are just to follow the template and then onboard the right set of developers in these universities for us.
Thank you very much, Ubio. I think Abdul has a follow-up question or contribution.
Exactly. I want to be very clear. Does it mean that, okay, I think I get it, but just for more clarity, it doesn't mean that whatever university that the campus store eventually onboarded a particular university, it doesn't necessarily mean that the hackathon will be hosted in that very school, or does it mean students of that school cannot participate in the hackathon? I want to get that clarified.
When you get there, obviously they see, so they are to obviously they are to apply to if they want to attend the hackathons, they have to apply to the hackathon in their regions, right? So it does not necessarily mean that that university will be the one to host it, right? But it means like what you're going out there is to tell them about initiatives in deep funding, of which the hackathon is one of such, but not limited to that. You also need to tell them about the RFPs. We're telling them about the rounds. We're telling them about everything that is happening, the BGI, everything that is happening in deep funding. So obviously the hackathon is one of the things happening. And since it's definitely, there's definitely going to be one close to them, they have to apply to attend if they are interested.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rubio. I guess that answers your question, Kwesi. Sorry, Abdul.
I think I'll have to DM, I'll reach out to Ibio private, so not to get convinced. I don't want to take more time.
All right, thank you very much, Abdul.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start to Rubio. Kwesi. No, sorry. Alfred, your hands were up first. What you have a question or you have a contribution to me?
Yeah, I have a question. Yeah,
Okay.
so I have a question, and I think Abdul asked that question before. Yeah, my question was I wanted to know in which are the identified school, because I remember you said marketing has already begun in that school already. So I wanted to know, okay, what are those schools? So because I'm also a student and I'm also part of one of those regions. So I wanted to know what those schools are,
Yeah.
if and or if I could even have access to the on-ground marketing team. So if I could also,
Yeah. So if
try
yeah,
to.
so this I think when we had the 3 circle call, Abdul brought up that this thing, and I told him about the structure that is actually brought in by his co-coordinator, that's Andre and Beatrice, who are actually in the outreach circle. The marketing allows the independence of the regions to do what is fit for them, while the marketing circle does what, and the outreach and the guys in the this thing do what is right. So we are trying to ensure that we don't superimpose. Now, it might be a wrong theory, it might be a wrong experiment at the end of it, but again, for this is how we're trying to do it. So we've given them a playbook. I think you guys came up with a playbook as well. So they work on the playbook. We've given them what we want, the KPIs and everything, but we given them the agency to do it, adapt it according to how they think it's fit for their own regions and spaces. So I don't think I would be much open to that, because for that would be tampering on what some of the experimentation we are trying to get out of it. So for now we allow them to do their marketing, do their stuff the way they do while we do our things, and then we are going to actually check how this model actually works. And if it doesn't work, then next time we don't try it again. But it's key that we allow it to work so that we know if it works or not.
Yeah, certainly. You are right on that. You're right on that, because I've also experienced that firsthand, as a co-lead for Google developers um, group on campus. There are certain times that groups will come to us and say they want to, like, okay, partner with us and Osaka team, and like to explain to them that, oh, this is not Northern Nigeria. It's not like in Lagos or other places.
Yeah.
That there's a way we do our things here, and it doesn't work out. So, but that's not what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to that, okay, because for example, the BizDev work group, we want to use this opportunity to also build partnership with universities also. If we could get access to, to the lecturers, to the professors, and but
Yeah, you
so
can
we need.
get access. You can. That is definite. Like I said, we just signed yesterday. I stated that clearly. We just signed yesterday, and so that's why. So if you observe on all the publicity and everything we've done, even on the application, so the application form is out. You can actually apply. We've already had 60 plus persons. We did not state the university. We just mentioned the regions, Southeast. And I do know the universities, but I will not mention until all the signatures from the other parties are done, and then we can formally announce that.
Okay, so at the moment now, I can see no university have started marketing, because the signature, right? So because if they have actually started marketing, and I would say that maybe they should increase their marketing, because I'm not seeing anything here in the northern part, and I'm almost in all tech related clubs in the northern part here. So I just want to ask that, have they gone deep into their marketing?
Well, I'm sure they've done they are doing their marketing, but I'm sure they are doing it according to how they did. So just a little. Now, this is not a conversation I should be having, but privy to it is that I do know that most of them are having inter-university discussions, right? So this university is talking to the other university and all that. That's like some some information I've been privy to. But again, the marketing team will be the one to have this conversation. They've slated a conversation with the professors next week. So they'll be sitting down to discuss the strategy to see what they have. But I have been very clear they are not to impose. They can only advise and also take feedback for now. So let us see what this is. If it doesn't work out, trust me, we're not going to try it again.
Okay, so from the BizDev, yeah, we would like to meet the on-ground people. So at least we could build connection with them and also get to their connections in the school, so we could get them as partners. So I am one of the member from the BizDev. I've sent you a message. His name is Christian, but he said you haven't replied him. So I don't know if you could check your DM. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alfred. For a minute, I saw Abdulrahman hands up, but it's down now. Kwesi, please.
Hey, Uyo. So I just wanted to say I have some affiliations with some universities in Ghana, and I would like to help with the campus tour. I think somewhere last week I reached out to you in that regards.
Yes, and I told Seth to also reach out to you with that regards. So please join him. Listen, because I know I already made that statement as well. So please reach out to Seth as well. So that Seth, I think Priscilla, I told him to also reach out to Priscilla as well. So please, you guys should try to work together for that.
All right. Chris has his hand up. Please, you can speak now, Chris.
So, good evening. I hope I'm audible enough.
You are not audible. I can't hear you very well. Maybe if you can speak louder.
Oh, no, I'm audible. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe you should move on. Maybe you should continue. Maybe we'll hear you, but still not very clear.
Okay, so I just have a question for Ubio. I don't know if it's better now. I kind of disconnected from what I was saying.
Better now.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
clear.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm just concerned or curious about the continuity of what you mentioned earlier about the campus tour thing. So now my own curious ask is just that now the campus tour is basically to I don't want to say look at potential, but basically you're looking at developers and the likes in the campus, if I get that part correctly. So my question is, what are the plans for continuity or maybe sustaining that momentum? Is it a continuous project? Is it something like, what is the reach that you're targeting? Is it how do you build on that momentum? Are clubs being created at those campuses, or how exactly is this being utilized and that momentum utilized going forward? I was just curious about that area.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. For now, the idea is we get these people, and the outreach team in the dev outreach would be constantly keeping in touch with them, with keeping them relevant data, information, and all the stuff that is necessary for them to know what's going on in the ecosystem, right? So that's the primary purpose. It's just to create that repository of relevant potential developers that we need or we will need in the ecosystem. So as the need comes, we touch base, right? So we feel that part of this is as a circle is we need to have this large database of developers necessarily, like we just need to have that. That continuous sustenance is a total different discussion, which I don't think we have the capacity to handle. I do know there are conversations around the Deep Academy. Maybe these guys will be thinking about how to keep the students engaged and all of those kind of conversations. Yeah, for us, we will only point them when the academy is ready. We only point them to those resources and facilities. But we don't. Our job is not to keep them engaged with respect to constantly going back to these campuses, but rather to keep them informed about what the dev outreach, what the deep funding is, and the opportunities and lies for them, and for them to take advantage of it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Review. Ayo, you have your hands up. Chris, I hope that answers your question. I can see thumbs up from you, so I'm hoping it does. All right, thank you very much, Chris. Ayo, please, you
Yeah,
can.
yeah. I was hoping you will call me before Ubio speaks because I mean, Ubio was one supposed to round up. I mean, the older, but I wanted to say that I think the similarities between the initiatives are what is causing some bit of confusion here and there, right? The campus store is a whole thing. The hackathon is a whole other thing. And then the partnership with the universities, which involves, key major stakeholders within the universities, are also another thing entirely. Now, the way I see it, they will, in a way, work together, yeah. But if you are thinking about the campus store, you can be asking questions that is really for the hackathon, right? And so I was going to say that I think that's where that's coming from. But I mean, these are ongoing things. So I think it will be clearer as it goes. And then if anybody's interested in any particular one, I mean, they should feel free to reach out to Dev Outreach. That way you can get further clarity on that. But, I didn't want to speak before Bill spoke. Yeah, but basically.
All right, thank you very much, Ayo. I hope that clarifies a lot, and maybe we can have like a run through or a summary of what each of these things is all about, so that it would reduce the confusion. Maybe Dev Outreach needs to do a bit of article or something to explain each of these things, so that it reduces the confusion as well. Abdul, your hands are up. No, your hands are down.
Thank you, Mayor. I think you've said actually what I wanted to say. That it would be very, very resourceful if you can have a kind of a breakdown, like what this means and what that means. That it won't be necessarily that we'll be reaching out in DMs and sorry, Ubio, for always saying this. Ubio is a very busy person. Before you can get response from him, it takes a lot of time. So you can just quickly go into that kind of probably resource page and read about things there. So, and also, like I said, I will still reach out to you for more clarity on each of these particular initiatives. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abdul. Um, any more questions? Any more contribution? I think I need to stop sharing my screen at this point. Yeah, I think I do need to stop sharing. Yeah, I'm going through all the participants right now. Ian is not.
Sorry, just to add, Seth, can you please share the link to the application, the landing page? I think some people are DMing that they would want to apply for the hackathon. So can you share it here, please?
All right, sure.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ovio, for that. So if you would like to apply for the hackathon, there will be a link in chat in about a minute or two. So you can save the link and then apply later on. It's 1 hour, 30 minutes into this call. It would be great if we end the call right now, but I will leave it open for like a bit more time to see if there will be more contribution or yeah, Vani.
Yeah, just I know we're close to the end of the meeting, but I just want to catch people while they're all here. Everyone's probably aware of BGI 25, the summit that's going on at the moment. Tomorrow is the unconference, which is a much more open thing where people can start their own breakout rooms and all that. And the Singularity Net ambassadors have taken on running the virtual unconference, which is on Zoom. So we'd love it if people rocked up and joined in. I've just posted a link in the chat. You can see a link to all the details of the scheduled sessions, and you can, of course, come along at the start of any of them and request a breakout room to start your own conversation about something. And there's a Zoom registration link there, so it'd be fab to see people there.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vani. That slipped my mind. Yeah. So the reason why Jan and Raphael and few people, I think Judith, Rama, the reason why they are not on this call is because they are at the BGI summits taking place at Turkey, Istanbul. So that's the reason why they are not available here right now. And tomorrow, like Vani mentioned, is the on conference. It's more general and open. And to be great if all of you can attend. The link to the details are in chat. Vani posted it, and then the registration link as well. Ayo, you have your hands up.
Yes, I do. Thank you. So, over the course of the week, Oscar couldn't be here. Has had to take time off, rest, and get well. I mean, he didn't ask me. He didn't ask me to say that, but I also found context for what I'm about to say. So, he asked if we could consider as a community that this retrospective happens at the beginning of the new month and not at the end of the month, right? And it was not particular about increasing the interval, but we're just saying maybe it should be the first all hands of the month rather than the last all hands of the month kind of a thing. And when he realized so I told him this was something he should bring up here, right? Because Operation Circle basically just collects the reports. We did not make decisions as regarding the process of when reports should be made. So, and then when he realized that he would not be able to join, he asked me to please mention it as a conversation, as a conversation that we can start to think about, maybe discuss in the all circles, and then maybe discuss in the next open all hands and things like that. But I mean, I just wanted to do as I was instructed. Just kidding, yeah. But I wanted to put that out since you requested.
Okay. Would you like that discussion to go on in here or like right now, Ayo, or something that you want everyone
something to think about with one of the discussions that we can have in the next open ends. Time is already spent, and we can, yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Ayo. So yeah, I hope you guys heard him. Do you all think retrospective should be the first all hands of the new month? So we talk about the previous months in the first all hands of the new month, or we should maintain the culture of doing it during the last all hands of the month? Something to think about. Maybe it will be a topic next time. So yeah, that's a take-home assignment for every one of us. So yeah, any other contribution? I guess there's no contribution, and I guess there are no announcements, right? All right. Yeah, I think we have to call it a day. Thank you all for attending our Deepfunding all hands. I don't know the number. I've lost track of the number. Yeah, but do well to subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn. Yeah, please do all that, and we'll catch you all next week on our town hall section. Next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. UTC, if I'm correct, if I'm mistaken. Yeah, so yeah, have a great day, you all. Have a great week. Bye, guys.
Thank you for hosting. Thank you for
Well
hosting.
done, Mayor. Bye.
Thanks for
Yeah.
hosting, Maya.
Thank you guys. Bye bye, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.